শুভ দুপুর, শুভেচ্ছা, শুভ সময়। সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, আপনাদের সবাইকে অনেক অনেক শুভেচ্ছা, সেই সঙ্গে সাদর আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি আমাদের আরও একটি নতুন দিনের এবং সপ্তাহের শেষ দিনের তারকা কথনের আয়োজন। এবং আশা করছি যে যেখানে বসে আমাকে এই মুহূর্তে দেখছেন তারা সকলেই ভালো আছেন, সুস্থ আছেন এবং সুন্দর আছেন। এবং আমি তো আজকে ভীষণ আনন্দিত, কারণ আজকে আমাদের বিষয় হচ্ছে চলচ্চিত্র। আপনারা সকলেই অবগত হয়েছেন ইতিমধ্যেই যে আমাদের দেশে চলছে 22তম ঢাকা আন্তর্জাতিক চলচ্চিত্র উৎসব, অর্থাৎ ঢাকা ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ফিল্ম ফেস্টিভ্যাল। জাঁকজমকপূর্ণভাবে সবাই একটু খবর রাখছেন। আমরা আজকে চেষ্টা করেছি, যেহেতু আপনারা ইতিমধ্যে জানেন 252টি ফিল্ম স্ক্রিনিং হচ্ছে 74টি দেশ থেকে, উইচ ইজ এ হিউজ থিং। এবং বিভিন্ন দেশ থেকে অনেক গুণী মানুষেরা আসছেন তাদের ফিল্মগুলো স্ক্রিনিং করার জন্য, এবং সম্পূর্ণ আসলে প্রদর্শনীটি পুরোপুরি আপনাদের জন্য ফ্রি, আপনারা চাইলেই দেখতে পারবেন সেখানে। এবং জায়গাগুলোর ব্যাপারে কথা বলবো পুরো বিস্তারিত, তার আগে আমরা আমাদের যারা গেস্ট অফ অনার্স আছেন আজকে যারা আসছেন তাদের সঙ্গে পরিচয় করাতে চাই, কারণ আমরা খুব খোশ গল্পে ছিলাম এতক্ষণ। আপনাদের সঙ্গে পরিচয় করাতে চাই। আমাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন আমার ঠিক ডান দিকে টেনগি, উনি একজন সিনেমাটোগ্রাফার, এবং তার পাশে রয়েছেন কোয়াং হান, ডিরেক্টর এবং রাইটার ফ্রম সিঙ্গাপুর, এবং ঠিক তার পাশে রয়েছেন আমাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন জেসন, ফিল্ম ক্রিটিক ফ্রম ফিলিপিন্স, ওয়েলকাম। অ্যান্ড সেই সঙ্গে রয়েছেন গজাল বাখতাজাদ, উনি একজন সিনেমাটোগ্রাফার, এবং সেই সঙ্গে রয়েছেন মাহতাব সুলেমানি ফ্রম ইরান। আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে বিভিন্ন দেশ থেকে আমাদের গেস্ট অফ অনার্স এসেছেন। উই ওয়েলকাম ইউ টু বাংলাদেশ ফার্স্ট অফ অল।
Thank you.
So I'm going to start with Kwang Han because your movie was screened yesterday.
Yes, that's
And
right.
is it your first time to Bangladesh?
It is my first time to Bangladesh, and yeah, it's really a wonderful experience coming to the
Tell me
festival.
about your
and
film.
seeing-
What was it about?
My film is a drama set in Singapore. It's actually a family drama, right? So it's about a Singapore family dealing with the pressures of life, and also the name of the film is called 2020.
2020.
So 2020 in terms of like 2020 perfect eyesight or the year 2020. So it's because many Singaporeans have a obsession with perfection.
Okay.
So it's about this family and how they deal with the fact that maybe life is not perfect, and through that acceptance, learn to move on. And one of the sub-themes of the film is dealing with the children who has a condition of Asperger's syndrome and autism. So this film, in that sense, we hope also to raise more awareness of these conditions, because I'm a teacher at a school,
Right.
and so I teach drama. So I see that some of these kids who have autism or Asperger's, they find it very difficult to adapt, because sometimes they experience bullying and stuff like
Right.
that, right? So I think one of my aims when I made this film was such that I wanted to bring more awareness about this issue. So the interesting thing is that when I bring this film to different festivals, and although it's a very Singaporean film in that sense, because the themes, the way they speak, we speak in Singlish, which is also English, but there are people who can still relate to this film. And people will come up to me to say that, this is something that they experience.
In all the countries, maybe we experience the same thing almost.
Yeah,
It's
so
just like autism get bullied, right?
Yes,
So all the way.
yes, of course.
So
And parents who raise kids who are neurodivergent, they go through certain difficulties,
Right.
So as a filmmaker, it's very wonderful when you hear people coming up to you and saying that, when I watch this film, I feel more courage to go on, because maybe I'm neurodivergent, or I have a daughter or a son who's like that. And when I see this, I can see that there is some hope in a way. Because I feel that when I made this film, I wanted, in that sense, to bring light to the issue and also, give people hope to see certain things.
That's the job of a director, right? So yeah. You did a
I
wonderful
hope so,
job.
yeah.
So how did you feel when you see the movie in this country, on this country?
I think when you go to every movie theater in every city, it's different, right? Because every city has a different vibe, has a different rhythm,
surely.
right? So when I came to Dhaka, it was the feeling was I like to walk in the streets, look at the people, talk to the people, and get a vibe of it. And then when you go inside the theater, so every theater is different, right? So when I see that, because we showed it at a huge auditorium, and there were quite a lot of people there, so I was very encouraged when I saw that. And I saw the people when they watched it, and some of them came up to me and talked to me after that.
So you
that
like
was
talking to
wonderful.
them, the Bangladeshi film
Of
enthusiasts?
course. I always want to have kind of like a Q&A after the film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
so some audience would come up to me, maybe a little bit more shy. Maybe after the Q&A, they'll come up to me outside to talk to me.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So how long you're going to stay after, like?
I'll stay till the end of the festival.
Oh wow. 21 তারিখে শুরু, 21 জানুয়ারিতে শুরু হয়েছে প্রিয় দর্শক, এবং চলছে এখন পর্যন্ত, এবং আরও চলবে, কিন্তু আরও বাকি রয়েছে, কিন্তু 28 তারিখ শেষ হবে। সো এখনও অনেক কিছু বাকি আছে, যারা এখন মিস করেছেন তারা এখন যেতে পারেন। এবং আমাদের সঙ্গে আরও অতিথিরা রয়েছেন, I'm just saying that how much I have to ask you about this because you're here first time in Bangladesh, right? All of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Mahtab,
Yes.
your first time here? Bangladesh, in Bangladesh, your first time visiting, right?
Yes.
You're visiting first time. Okay, I'm just going to tell the audience that you are going to speak Persian, and we have no problem. You can speak that, okay? And you maybe will help us to know. Okay, so tell me about what is your experience throughout to this country. You have came here for the very first time. How are you experiencing everything?
اولین سفرم بود هست به بنگلادش و مردمش واقعا منو شگفت زده کردن. خیلی خونگرم و واقعا فیلم دوست، سینما دوست. من نمیدونم، خیلی واقعا احساس میکنم ژنتیکیه برای مردم بنگلادش این دوست داشتن سینما.
What is he saying?
Yeah, so she said she's astonished. It's her first time here, and she's astonished by the people. They are very kind-hearted, and they have this genetically cinephile
Oh my God, that's a huge compliment.
implanted
Okay,
inside.
thank you very much.
Their enthusiasm for cinema has astonished her.
Yeah. We're very curious like you, like every one of you, because and we love movies. We are very much into movies.
Yeah.
And movies like starts with our liberation also. We have started movie with our blood into it. And we're all about movies. We see everywhere movies, okay?
Yeah.
We love movies. And since it is an occasion that where like different countries people like get together and have their opportunity to show their films also. That is our opportunity to see your films also, and you see ours. So tell me about your film. You are a documentary maker, right?
Yes.
If I'm not wrong. So what is your thing that has been screened or that is going to be screened in this festival?
فیلم چی بود که اکران شد یا قرار اکران بشه؟ از تجربه؟
فیلم من 22م اکران شد و در مورد بیوگرافی پروفسور قوامزاده هست که یکی از بزرگترین محققان ایرانه در علم پزشکی و دنیا، که سال 2012 ایشون مرد سال شدن، انتخاب شدن به عنوان پزشک نمونه، محقق نمونه. بعد از اکران فیلمم خیلی فیدبک های خوبی داشتم از طرف چند تا از منتقدین و ژورنالیست‌ها که خیلی برام ارزشمند بود.
So her film was screened on 22nd, Monday. The film is about Dr. Ghavamzadeh, who is a physician in Iran. He's also a researcher, and he was the founder of the bone marrow transplant center in Tehran. So he's the father of the bone marrow transplant. He has saved lives.
Oh my God! That's quite
So
a good
it's his biography, and yeah, after the film, she had all these critics and journalists come to her and ask all these questions and give all this feedback. So it was such a pleasurable experience.
Like, did you feel good answering the
Yeah.
questions when you're asked about the documentaries that you made?
حالت خوب بود وقتی که آدمو حس خوبی داشت وقتی آدمو میومد.
خیلی اصلا قبلش خیلی استرس داشتم. بعد از پایان فیلم وقتی فیدبک ها رو دیدم اصلا خیلی راحت شدم و خوشحال شدم که فیلمم اینقدر تاثیرگذار بوده.
What is that?
She said she had been through a lot of stress before the screening.
Okay.
And after the screening, when she saw the audience and the feedback, she was relieved and she could breathe.
I hope like you are like still relieved, like you just relieved, just be relaxed because we are all we love films, okay? And I'm going to talk with Ghazal also. First of all, we love Ghazal. You know what Ghazal means? I know you know. Maybe you understand what Ghazal means to you. What is your name?
Okay,
means?
Ghazal. My name means gazelle, like it's a kind of a deer.
Okay, but
Gazelle.
it is a genre. I thought it mistakenly maybe. Ghazal is something to us. I understand that. It's a sort of genre of music that we listen
No,
to.
it's also a very similar
Yeah,
name. A similar name.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
a friend of
Ghazal.
mine is named. That's Ghazal.
Yeah.
In Farsi, there's an A in the middle, so that makes a big difference.
Okay, let's not go there. That's not topic. All right. So Ghazal is a cinematographer,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So how was it to you to come to this festival for the very first time?
And also amazing. It's such a such a strange experience. It's very exotic to be here. I've never seen any country like this before. I've been many places, and this is really very beautiful people, very beautiful country. I love everything about it.
So what is that you find similar to your country and this country?
I think it's how hostable they are to foreigners. I think that's
Very
Iranians are also very, very hostable to foreigners and to each other, of course. And I think that's similar.
Thank you very much. We try at our best.
Yes.
So that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to talk with Jason. We have very short time because we have a lot of people to talk with us today. And tell me about you, Jason. How are you feeling? How are you being treated in this country for the very first time?
Great. I arrived on the 18th, I think, and then I slept the whole day where I was staying the next day. And then the next day we had to watch a lot of short films and a lot of films altogether. So I think I've watched maybe a fourth of what the festival has to offer already, which is a lot. The festival has over 200 films. Yeah, so I've watched a lot of films, and I learned so much about Bangladesh cinema and also about international cinema and also the film-going audience here. Bangladesh people love films.
You're crazy about films,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. The lines are outside of the museum, and it's really amazing. Yeah.
And films is something that tells about us, that's a country's story, right?
Yes.
Like how this country lives and what loves and how it, what it eats and everything about like a country. So I'm going to take a moment to talk to Ten Yi, who is to be like a cinematographer also. Would you like to say something about this festival? Anything? How did you feel about this country? I'm just curious that you want to say something. If you like to, you're a cinematographer. We know that. How did you like all over this trip till today? Would you like to say something?
About the visual, there's something about the visually, because I think it's visually stimulating in many ways, right?
Okay.
So I think because she was mentioning some of the, to me, some of the, when we travel outside, it's so vibrant and so, the colors are so strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one beautiful thing about this land is that I always think of people and animals as living beings.
Right.
And when I come here, I can feel the heartbeat of this land.
Wow.
And the whole city breathing and having life. And I think that is a very beautiful part of coming here.
That's very beautiful how you explain that. Thank you very much. You speak a little, but you speak a lot.
And also I can feel the tradition of the people and their history, because they find that they want to preserve what is their culture and a deep sense of what they have in their hearts. And that's why they tell these stories.
Right.
And that's why they love the cinema, because it's a way for them to put their love and to continue the culture to the later generations.
Right, we speak our hearts out through the film and music and everything. I wish I could let you know everything about our film and stuff. And where you're sitting, this is also a production house. We have produced a lot of films, I'm talking about Impress Telefilm Limited also. Have you heard of it? Impress Telefilm Limited is another production house which has produced a lot of films to Bengali industry. I will talk about this later because I have to know a little bit more from you. So, what is the common genre in Singapore about films that you make, which is traditional?
You mean for myself?
Yeah.
My because I'm an independent filmmaker, so I try to make dramas that are, in a sense, less expensive to shoot, because so it's mainly actor-centric.
Okay.
Involves actors. So like my previous film was about two people in a hotel talking. So this is a family drama. So it's mainly centered around people.
Okay.
So because Singapore is a very, you can say it's almost a claustrophobic country, because we're a very small country and everybody lives in flats. It's very different from Bangladesh. So and then so a lot of drama. So maybe our scenery is perhaps it's definitely not as beautiful as maybe other countries, but I think the drama in the human heart is important. And that is what this is mainly the kind of films that I make it. I'm interested in doing.
Wow, beautifully explained. Well, how does Iran make films? What is the genre, Ghazal?
I think mostly documentary. Mostly drama, actually.
Drama.
Yeah.
Okay. What sort of drama that you show, like there?
I think so,
Family?
me or generally in
like
Iran.
common
Okay,
genre.
generally I think social drama,
Social,
like how it goes in the family or how it goes, you know, family issues mainly, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. We have something we have seen, right? I've got something to see. Maybe I'm trying to remember what have I seen. It was an Iranian dubbed in Bengali somewhere. I would like to speak about it when I remember. Jason, tell me about you. Like what is it in Philippines?
In the Philippines, it's usually divided into 3 different categories.
Okay.
There's usually the very commercial films, the romantic comedies, the romantic dramas, people fighting over excess and the like.
Okay.
And then there's the independent movement, which is largely social dramas, exploring poverty, exploring social injustices. And there's the alternative cinema movement, which is a much smaller group of people who are experimenting with what can be depicted in cinemas, in museums, in alternative film spaces like restaurants, bars, things like
Okay.
that. So yeah, you can find different filmmakers from all around the Philippines in in all 3 of our major islands, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, creating these 3 kinds of films. Yeah.
Wow. Tell me more about it. What is this movement about? Alternative film
Yes.
that you have said. I want to understand more briefly, like what is this?
Yeah, so the alternative cinema movement is centered around depicting things that you might not necessarily see in
Okay.
commercial films. So in the alternative cinema movement, there are filmmakers like Roxley who create animation out of nuclear disasters.
Okay.
There are filmmakers like Kidlat Tahimik who film indigenous tribes in the Philippines that you may not necessarily see constantly. And so the alternative cinema movement is, I think, the bedrock of where a lot of younger filmmakers learn filmmaking from, especially in
Yes,
film
yes,
schools. Yeah.
Right. I like the word bedrock. It is right.
Thank you.
I want to specifically ask something that we have progressed on specific, on something very specific. That is, women started making films right now, and we are proud of it. What is your position in Singapore, like when it comes to like women making films?
I think in Singapore, it's you see actually more and more. There are more and more women directors who've made their impact on the international scene.
Okay.
And because for Singapore, there are stories that maybe that only women can tell, right? So they have. I think maybe previously it was because for Singapore, the modern cinema history is not so long. Right.
Okay.
So maybe in the 90s they started the movement, right? And before that it was mostly men. But as we came on later, more and more women are actually picking up the camera, they're writing, and yeah, you see much more of it nowadays, which is excellent because they tell stories maybe for different sensibilities. And you also see women working in different areas in the cinema industry. Like my wife, she's
Exactly. I'm endorsing this because of
she's
this one,
cinematographer.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you have different dynamics,
Right.
right? Because I think women have different sensibility when it comes to different things. So that actually enriches the whole thing.
Yeah,
The whole-
and it is anyway, like everything. And what about you, Ghazal? Like, what about in Iran? Like, do you face, like, as not as a cinematographer, if I ask you, like, what is the things that the women has to face or like, embrace to make a movie about something unconventional, let's say?
Oh my God.
Okay, that's a very tough question.
No, it's not. You can say anything. It's fine.
No, because I always keep saying that there is always this invisible ceiling for women, especially in Iran, which is very traditional and misogynic. It takes a lot of struggle for a woman to make a film, from having to deal with all the drama and all the social constructions that limit women, especially because of all the, religious issues,
yeah.
political issues and everything. And for a woman to make a film, it takes maybe 100 times more effort compared to a man.
But you still win, so you are here. And you're
Yeah.
representing the films of
Yes.
Iran. Yeah. So be very happy about it, and we are also very happy. And I know there is a misogynistic like feeling about this, and like they have stuff to think before when it comes to like a woman to make a film. But it's fine, and you are here and you're screening your films. That's the most like lovable story I think about today. And can you tell me that do you choose anything specific when you come to make a film? Like, do you like promote this, that you have this thing against women, like especially when you like make things?
Well, I
documentaries
think
and
it's
stuff?
the pre-assumption that they need help. That's, I think, the thing that I need to bold out, because I work as a camera assistant, like technician also on sets, and I always have this struggle that even when I want to pick up something, that this is my job, I'm paid for it, as even sometimes more than a man on set, and then there's always this man coming to offer me help,
Okay.
and I'm like, hey.
You don't need it, right?
I will say if I need help, just like any other man. Hey guys, I need help, come help me. But it's just pre-assumpted that I need help, and they run to rescue me from this impossible mission that
Irritating.
Do you
it's
think
really
that
irritating.
it is us we need from help, like help from you? Do you think that? Yes, so far.
Sorry, I didn't
Like,
get.
do you think that especially that's us, like the men, that who needs help from you actually?
Oh no, I think.
But I think like that.
No,
Yeah,
you see, I don't like to put it into gender, because I want to put it like in every human
That's
being
very-
is
that's very
different than the other human being. I'm different than her, you are
Yeah.
different than him. Everybody is different. Everyone has their own weaknesses and strongnesses, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, if I need help, I'm going to say it. If you need help, you're going to say it. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of battling the ego and just being able to say, hey, I need help, or, you know.
Right. Thank you very much. We're very happy that you are here, both of you. And I want to ask last question to Jason. Jason, like, what is your position, like your, lenses to women, like in your country, when they come to make movie?
It's interesting because in the Philippines, the highest grossing films of all time are all directed by women.
Oh,
There are
congratulations
3 of
for
them,
that.
Joyce Bernal, May Cruz Alviar, and I forgot the last one, Kathy Garcia, Sampana. Those are the 3 filmmakers. But on the other end, there are a lot of short filmmakers right now that are making waves as young women filmmakers in the country.
Okay.
Gabriela Serrano and also Maria Estela Paiso. They're touring their short films across different festivals, Berlin, Sundance, etc. But I think that the majority of the filmmaking landscape is still composed by men. I think that a lot of women in the film industry, whether they are in front of the camera, behind the camera, or maybe even outside of that production, they still face a lot of discrimination and other problems. And so it's interesting because you can celebrate this huge achievement commercially and these independent achievements, but there are also a lot of problems that are still happening.
We will come over it, no problem. We will win over it always, like you did always. And thank you very much that you all came here to celebrate. We are also celebrating, that you have to see also, right?
Yes.
We were like 252 দেশ আমরা একসঙ্গে হয়েছি, এবং ফিল্ম 72টি দেশ একসঙ্গে হয়েছে। ইটস এ বিগ থিং। এবং প্রিয় দর্শক, আমরা 10 বছর পূর্তি উদযাপন করছি, স্পেশালি এবার আমরা করলাম মহিলা ফিল্ম মেকার যারা, তাদের জন্য। তারা 10 বছর হয়েছে তারা কাজ করছেন সাকসেসফুলি, এবং আপনারা দেখতেই পাচ্ছেন। এবং আমরা ধন্যবাদ দিয়ে শেষ করতে চাই আজকের আয়োজন, এবং আমরা শেষে একটি প্রোমো দেখতে চাই। চলুন দেখে আসি, দেখে ফিরছি।